Welcome everyone, we're back at the hill and we're very excited. We've got the EP8 installed in our Merida e160. If you haven't seen the video, it's already loaded up, check it out. We're really looking forward to see how the EP8 performs against the rest of the bikes we've already brought up here. If you're liking our videos, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's talk about the track. It's 17.5 degrees average gradient. It's 200 meters in length and it's 30 degrees at the steepest point. You can see on the video it's fairly smooth. It's not too rocky, so rider skill isn't involved. And we chose it because we wanted to draw out the strengths of each of the individual e-bike motors. So what's it like to ride the Merida e160 with the new EP8 installed? Well, let's talk a little bit about the EP8. It's 2.6 kilos total weight, so it's about 300 grams lighter than the E8000. It's got 85 Newton meters of torque, and it's a little bit more compact. There's a little bit more ground clearance. It's still got the 25 cutout. It's 250 watt. It's a little bit more better enclosed, better industrial design. I think overall more waterproof, both top and bottom part of the motor. Now that it's in the Merida e160, how does it feel? Well, it definitely feels quieter. That's the first thing I noticed. And it's definitely smoother to ride. Smoother through the pedals. And once you hit the cutout, it's definitely less drag over 25. A lot of people have talked about the rattle. The rattle is nowhere near as bad as people have made out. We've got the Bosch CX motor and its rattle is definitely louder than the Shimano EP8. So I think don't worry about the rattle. Even on rough, rocky, steppy, rooty downhills, that small noise that comes from the motor is completely acceptable and sounds a little bit like a chain rattle, but nothing that's going to bug you or take away from the enjoyment of your ride. That's my opinion anyway. The other thing to note about this motor is there's a lot more tunability with it. Shimano have really made some good inroads with their Bluetooth app, and you can tune Eco, Trail and Boost far beyond what you could ever tune them before on the E8000. So how does that translate into riding? I've probably been spoiled because we've ridden E8000s fully tuned, and I have to say that I was expecting more from the EP8 with the 85 Newton meters of torque. Because when we tune an E8000, we bring it from 70 to 75. So I was expecting the EP8 to absolutely rip. And it really doesn't feel more powerful than the standard E8000. Like, I would have to say the tuned E8000 feels like it's got more punch. Why is that? It's hard to know. We'll continue to do testing, and we're going to do some other back-to-back testing of both our Merida e160s with the E8000 and the EP8. And we'll set them all to the factory settings and do some riding and do another video to share that with you. So in summary overall, I would say the EP8 in our e160 hasn't transformed this bike into an absolute ripping, fire-breathing beast of a bike. What it's made it is smoother, quieter, and in some respects more controllable in all situations, and with the tunability of the Shimano app, allowed us to customize the power. But as I said, if you customize that power and add too much torque, too much assist, you definitely see the battery go down quicker. And of course, as you know, with most of the new bikes that have the EP8, they have the larger 630 watt hour batteries. And I can see why, because if you have it in the max settings, it definitely likes to use the juice. But you can certainly tune that down to a more middle range setting, and it's certainly good and enjoyable to ride. We look forward to doing some further tests in some future videos. We'll unlock this EP8 and we'll certainly test how it performs unlocked. Then we'll also be able to unlock it into a race mode, which has been recently developed. Which gives 30% more power in Eco, Trail and Boost. That's 30% above what Shimano give you.
So we'll certainly do some tests, and we look forward to taking this back up the same hill with that unlock race installed, and we'll see how much boost it gives it in that hill climb that we've done on various videos. So that's the main points of the ride experience of the EP8. I think now let's get down to the hill climb and see how the standard EP8 fared going up the hill that we've taken all the other bikes up, and let's see how it looks on the leaderboard. We're excited to see how it performs. We've waited a long time for this, and you're about to see how well it did in the runs.
Okay, this is EP8 in the Merida 900E. It wasn't as good as I was expecting. The EP8 doesn't seem any more powerful than a standard E8000 up this sort of hill.
Okay, here we go. EP8, e160, 900E.
Well, that's my first run on the EP8, and it wasn't as easy as I thought. Didn't carry me forward up the hill with as much boost. It's on boost, it's on the highest settings. I was expecting more. We've finished our runs with our new EP8 motor in this Merida e160 900E, and I have to say, I'm disappointed. It wasn't that good. I was expecting the 85 Newton meters to be far superior than the E8000 70 Newton meters, but my times were very similar to the standard E8000. I'll get Lachlan to come in and share with us how it looks on the leaderboard.
Okay, so if we look at the leaderboard now, we can see that the EP8 actually came in virtually identical to the standard E8000. It's just a tiny bit of difference, but that's just down to pressing the stop button on the stopwatch. I don't think there's any meaningful difference there. If we look over to John, we'll see the average times for each of our runs, also very similar to the EP8. I definitely found it didn't feel any more powerful up that hill. I felt like it was very hard work compared to the Bosch or the Bros that we've rode earlier in our tests. So we'll put up those times next of those bikes so you can compare them to the EP8 and the other bikes that we've tested previously.
Okay, well that's it for the EP8. We'll leave that for now. We will do some further tests, some cross-country and trail tests with the other motors, and not necessarily the hill climbs, which is what we've done, so we can really analyse the differences this EP8 should bring to your riding experience. Next up on the hill climb is Giant. We're going to get the Yamaha Sync Drive Pro motor and put that to the test up this hill and see how it compares.